Hello, welcome. So today we're going to be looking at some r/best of Redditor updates. So if that sounds like your kind of thing, like, subscribe, and let's get into it. So first up we have I am 31, am unsure how to feel about my girlfriend. F27, bizarre hobby. Need advice. My girlfriend and I have been dating for just over a year. This sounds cliche, but she is almost perfect for me. She is really into health and fitness, has an excellent career that she's worked really hard for, is great in bed, kind and intelligent, but she lives in a basement suite, which is nicely decorated and she keeps very clean. Any of you that lived in a basement suite before know that no matter what you do, you get bugs, ants, piddlebugs. Piddlebugs? What the hell is a piddlebug? Beetles and spiders. And I laughed there because I have lived in a basement, and yes, it is exactly like that. I spend a fair amount of time at her place and noticed right away that there was a spider in almost every corner. I asked her about it and she told me she doesn't kill them because they eat the other bugs. Okay. I did some light research and sure enough, she was right. How did you not know that already? I found it a little creepy, but not a deal breaker. Here is where things get weird. About a week and a half ago, I was using her computer and noticed a spreadsheet called Babies. Curiously, I think that's meant to say curiosity, got the best of me and opened it. She lovingly named all of the spiders, kills the other bugs and feeds them to the spiders, and keeps track of it all in a creepy rear-end spreadsheet. She keeps track of their food, their colour, size, web size, and some other poo-poo that I don't really understand. I mean, a hobby's a hobby, I guess. I closed the spreadsheet after I realised what it was about because I felt bad snooping and was honestly pretty disturbed. I really love her and don't want to break up, but I'm afraid that this is a sign of mental illness. No, it's just a hobby. An odd hobby, some might say, but I don't think this is a sign of mental illness. Has anyone ever heard of anything like this before? Should I say something to her? Is it okay for me to ask her to stop? Is this really that big of a deal? No, it's not that big of a deal. People keep tarantulas as pets and they feed live bugs to those tarantulas. It's the same difference, and that is a perfectly accepted hobby. She's just looking after the little guys in her bedroom that are looking after her and stopping her getting bitten to death at night, I imagine. TLDR, girlfriend is a crazy spider lady. Edit, I know I'm a rear end and a top hat for snooping. Oh, that's a great saying. Edit, we live in Australia. Well, yeah, that makes sense then, that she'd want to keep the nice spiders around, get rid of all the other insane bugs that you have there. Okay, so some comments on that. We'll start off with, I have no idea who posted it because it's deleted, the username, but it says, I think the big takeaway from all of this is that you should never kill a spider around her. Yeah, I think she would get probably very angry and maybe feed you to the spiders. OP, no shite, hey, lol. Applying to someone else, you don't think it's weird at all? Pancake Ice. So long as she isn't bulking them up to have a spider fight club, I think you're okay. Yes, it's weird, but I think collecting stamps is weird. I suggest asking her about it, apologising for snooping, and ask her, but don't accuse her, why she enjoys her hobby, since it's freaking you out so much. I've just got the image of a spider fight club now in my head, and it's not going away. JDUN02 says, honestly, I think this is an adorably bizarre hobby. Let her have her quirks. This is pretty goddamn harmless in the grand scheme of things. Or freak out over this, confront her and break up in 6 weeks. You're cool, dude. Edit. OP, you do realise that people collect spiders, right? Yeah, exactly. Like, there's a whole hobby around it. It's a legit and perfectly acceptable hobby. If the spiders were in cages, you probably wouldn't think twice about this. She's basically just a free-range spider collector. Big whoop. Amber626 says, I had a huntsman in my house for about 6 months. I named him Jeffrey. I was absolutely terrified of spiders since I was little, so having Jeffrey around was great. I learnt that he didn't want to bother me at all. I watched him hunt. It was super interesting. Learning about your fears is an awesome way to confront them. Perhaps this is what OP's girlfriend is doing. Either way, it's a pretty awesome way to learn about them. OP. Ha 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 ha. Maybe I can convince her to cage them. This is so effed. And then JDU02 again. This is so effed. Oh, my sweet summer child, if this is blowing your mind, I'm worried for you. Yeah, there is far stranger hobbies out there. Let me just tell you that. If you've been around on the internet for any time, I'm sure you've heard about quite a few of them. So, I took all of your advice and tried to embrace this part of her life. It was our anniversary last week and I decided to get her a spider-themed gift. I was at the mall and one thing led to another and I ended up buying her a pet tarantula and aquarium for it. Yay, I love that. She loved it, but I noticed the beloved spiders disappearing from around her apartment over the last few days. I asked her about it and turns out she's been killing them and feeding them to her new tarantula. I don't know how to feel about this. First she is calling them babies and now she's killing them. I'm just trying to not think about it and hoping she doesn't find a better boyfriend to feed me to one day. Lol. Oh well. TLDR, I bought my spider-obsessed girlfriend a pet tarantula and she is slowly feeding her smaller spiders to it. This seems very Hunger Games, doesn't it? Edit, someone sent me a helpful message about spider food, care, etc. and it occurred to me that she might not be able to afford real food for it. Although she has a higher salary than me, she is aggressively trying to pay off student loans, so it's virtually no extra money. I'm going to buy her a gift card for the pet store tomorrow. Thanks, Reddit. Edit. Apparently spider food is very cheap. Still going to get her the gift card in case it needs anything else I didn't think of. I just love how the OP has gone from finding everything that his girlfriend is doing extremely weird and worrying and all of the rest of it, to all of a sudden basically helping her grow a little tarantula farm slowly but surely, because you can guarantee once you've got one, there's gonna be more. So, more comments after the update. Once again, I cannot see the username of the person that left the comment, but it says, that was a thoughtful gift. Good job. Big spiders eat little spiders. I wouldn't worry too much about it. She has a real pet spider now, one that you gave her. It sounds like you solved the problem of having wild spiders walking around the apartment and you made your girlfriend very happy. Everybody wins. OP, thanks. Smiley face. And again, another username deleted here. Lol, you gifted her the spider, so it is something that is way more important to her than the so-called babies. Take this as a sign of her love for you. Opie says, I hope so, thanks. I think he's still very weirded out by this, but I love the enthusiasm that he has for trying to make, you know, things nice for his girlfriend and give her something that she would enjoy. And she named it Fluffy and unfortunately takes it out of the cage quite often. She will hold it while we are watching movies on the couch. I pretend not to be afraid of it. That is like so wholesome, very unexpectedly wholesome, isn't it really? Like, OP is clearly afraid of spiders, clearly thinks this is all just absolutely friggin' weird, but it's just like, do you know what? Sod it, let's go balls to the wall, let's do it. That's so cute. So, next up, I'm in love with my baby's mum, but she wants to leave. So, I, 27M, met Mila, 25F, like 4 years ago at a bar. Long story short, it was a mutual friend's birthday. We were at this bar and we had both just gotten out of long-term relationships. Hers was 5 years, mine was 4. A lot of drinking later. It was hella awkward waking up naked on the birthday dude's couch with Mila. But honestly, that wasn't even the wildest thing that happened that night. The birthday guy, he did something way worse. Oh, okay. Wait, are you not going to tell us what the birthday guy did? I want to know. Anyway, after all that, me and Mila were both super awkward about it. She legit looked like she just wanted to crawl under a rock. Neither of us wanted anything serious since we had just broken up with our exes, but we still swapped numbers and went separate ways. Fast forward like 3 months, Mila texted me up asking me to grab coffee. I thought it was kind of weird, but I figured she might want to go on a date or something. When I got there, she looked like she'd been crying. As soon as I sat down, she just started bawling. Turns out she was pregnant. She hadn't realised because she was super stressed and tired, but I was the only person she'd slept with. My whole life flipped upside down. We did a DNA test and it was mine. That is a smart move. Very smart move to do a DNA test first, because at the end of the day, just because someone says that, oh, you're the only person I slept with, you never know. If they're having flings with you, they might be having flings with other people. Don't get me wrong, I don't think that means that you should just be like, well, I don't trust you because you've been having flings in other places, because you were there too. You did do it, there is a chance, but definitely DNA test is a very good thing to do. Takes away any kind of doubt then, doesn't it? So, then she moved in with me because she was sharing a room with a roommate. The guest room became hers and my office is now Andrea's room. We call him Andy. I'm gonna guess that that's the kid. Having a kid wasn't exactly in my plans, but since Andy came along, my life's been better, honestly. Over the years, me and Mila never really had a romantic relationship, except for this one time she kissed me after Andy was born. We get along, I support them, I'm paying Mila's grad school, she finishes next year, we split the chores, and I'm always there for her, whatever she needs. In November, Andy's gonna turn 3. We've been planning his birthday, it's around Halloween, so he and his friends are all gonna dress up. He wants to go as Bingo from Bluey. During one of our talks, Mila asked if I wanted her to move out. She said now that Andy's 3, we could co-parent separately and I could even, get a girlfriend if I wanted to. I just went blank and said no and dipped to my room. Oh dear. Here's the thing. I love her. Having Andy is everything to me, but I'm also legit in love with her. She's smart, beautiful, caring, thoughtful, kind, dedicated. She's literally the most perfect person ever, but I'm way too scared to tell her. We have a kid together and I'm terrified of ruining everything between us as parents and friends. I don't know if I should tell her how I feel or just keep pretending everything's fine so I don't mess up what we have. Oh, I think you should definitely say something. You know, better to be rejected than not have said anything at all and ruin the chance completely. So we have an update, and the update says, I finally talked to her about my feelings. So I, 27M, posted my story a few days ago, and yesterday I finally talked to Mila, 25F. Quick recap, me and Mila had a baby together after a one-night thing. Ever since, we've been living together and I'm in love with her. She's absolutely stunning, breathtaking even, but I've been too scared to tell her how I feel because I didn't want to mess up our co-parenting situation. So, I left work early, picked Andy up from nursery and dropped him off at my mum's. I bought some flowers, cleaned up the house while she was in class and texted her, saying she didn't need to pick up Andy and to just come home because we need to talk. When she got home, she looked at me with her big wide eyes open and the first thing she asked was about our kid. I hugged her for a while, but she went full mummy bear mode and kept asking about our baby boy. Okay, why are you freaking her out like this? She gets home and all you do is hug her and ignore the question about where the kid is. Why are you trying to scare her like that? This is not a good way to announce your feelings. You flavoured, oh my goodness. After I reassured her that he was with my mum and totally fine, she finally calmed down. You should have led with that. I brought her to the living room, gave her a bouquet and started talking. It was a long convo. I told her how I've been scared of ruining things and how it hurt when she asked if I wanted her to leave. I do wonder, before we read ahead, I would like to interject with a little idea that I have in my head of why I think she might have said this. And I hope this is why, because I am rooting for these two. I really am. Even though you flaming moron scaring her like that, we'll forgive you because, sometimes people just don't think. But I'm wondering if maybe she asked about, moving out and if he wanted to get a new girlfriend, like saying, oh, I could move out and then that means you could get a girlfriend. I wonder if she was testing the waters to see what you would say, because maybe she feels the same. Maybe she didn't want to announce it and make a fool of herself, so she wanted to see what you would say to that. And then obviously if you'd have then said, oh yeah, that sounds good. It's been great living with you, but we could definitely co-parent together now. And yeah, if you move out, I'm ready. I could get a girlfriend. Yeah, and you could get a boyfriend. And then she would have probably gone, oh, wow, okay, so I know he doesn't like me now, so I won't say anything. I do wonder if that's what's going on here, and I kind of hope it is, because that would be so cute. Okay, so she admitted she was afraid of messing up my life, that she feels like a burden sometimes, and even blames herself for ruining my life with the pregnancy. I shut that down real quick. I never wanted kids, but honestly, since Andy and Mila came into my life, everything's been way better. It's the best, most challenging mistake I've ever made. Aww. I read ahead a little bit. I am naughty, I read ahead a little bit. She also said she likes me too. Yay! And she's felt that way since she was pregnant, but wasn't sure if it was just the hormones. After the baby, she felt embarrassed to say anything because she didn't feel comfortable in her body anymore. Oh, bless her. Aw, I hate that she feels like that, but I completely understand it because after having my last child, I completely have felt that way too. Like, they're nearly 8 now, and I'm still kind of trying to get back to feeling confident. Your body is never going to be the same. You have to learn to accept the way it is, but that's hard. So I completely, totally understand that. And I really hope that she gets that confidence back soon. Because from what OP said, he thinks she's absolutely stunning anyway. You know, she does not need to worry. So, she never got back to her pre-pregnancy body and thought I wouldn't find her attractive. Exactly, your body changes forever. It's never the same again. You're never going to be the way you were before. But that is also not a bad thing. But to me, she's the most beautiful and hot woman on the planet. Oh, they're just too sweet. It's making me sick. She also admitted she got jealous when I went on dates, even though she knew it didn't make sense because we weren't a thing. Honestly, if she went on dates, I'd be dying of jealousy too. These two, honestly, I just want to clack their heads together. Come on now, get it together and get together. We talked for a long time, even got into some deeper, more personal stuff. By the time we were done, it was late. We went to this small restaurant near our place for dinner. No wine, because I was driving, but it was amazing. We chatted about music, movies. She went off about ASOIAF. I have no idea what that is, I'm afraid. For ages, while I rambled on about Lord of the Rings. We talked about life and random stuff, and at the end of the night, I got a few kisses in the car. Like we didn't even live together, which was kind of cute. That is really cute. Then we watched a horror film. Awful movie, by the way, but she fell asleep cuddling me. It was Day Full of Winds. Oh, this is just all too cute, isn't it? This is so cute. I really hope that they've ended up being very, very super happy together. Everything worked out and they've, managed to get over their fears on either of their sides and move past that, because I think that what they've got going, considering they've been living together for 3 years, parenting together, and everything's been super cool, and she's been doing, I think it was college, wasn't it? And he's been working, and they've had a lot of stress and they've not been at each other's throats then. So I think, being together is just the next step if that's what they want. And I think that they could really, really make that work. It sounds like they've got a super strong foundation to build that off of. So I wish them nothing but the best. And I really hope it's going well for them. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any other updates because I would really, really, really have liked one. So what we're going to do is do one Am I the A-hole post on the end of this, because obviously I've not made it up to 20 minutes yet, and I like to make it up to 20 minutes. I just don't know why. I like to make it to at least 20 because I think that's more fun to listen to if it's a little bit longer. So, am I the butthole for threatening to sue both the school and the family of my daughter's bully? I, 30M, and my husband, 33M, have an 11-year-old daughter who's been going through severe bullying at school. It just keeps getting worse, and it started off with just name calling, but has gotten worse over the past few weeks. Context, she's adopted, which is something we've always been open about and celebrated as part of her story. Yeah, why should somebody be bullied just because they're adopted? Kids are vile sometimes. Recently, some of the kids found out about her adoption and started saying horrible things, telling her stuff like her birth mother didn't want her. They tell her she's unwanted, tell her she's a reject, which is not the case, as her mother loved her very much to the point she literally gave her life so she could be here. Exactly. Kids are just, some kids are horrid. They're horrid. Like, I'm touch wood, I've not had to deal with anything too bad with mine. Someone tried to pick on my eldest a little while ago, but some harsh words with their mum sorted that out. That's all I'm going to say here. I may not have been so nice. I don't care. I do not care. If this wasn't bad enough, a few days ago, she came home in tears with her hair butchered. They'd cut off 2 inches of her ponytail while in class, all while taunting her names and laughing at her reaction. Horrible little cretins. They will follow her through the halls to make fun of her on a regular basis now. Both my husband and I have been in touch with the school about the bullying more times than I can count. Yet schools are not proactive when it comes to bullying, and it is infuriating. You send your kid there to learn, not to be harassed. And we're seeing in the news more often than anyone would want to lately about kids taking drastic action against their own lives because of the fact that they're being bullied. It's not on, it's not acceptable, and if you are someone who bullies or bullied someone when you were a kid, you're a disgrace. And I don't care. I don't care how much work you do to be a better person when you're older. The fact that you would torment someone for absolutely no reason is disgusting, and not enough people say it. And that's why it just happens. Because as much as people go, oh, bullying's horrible, people say, oh, bullying's horrible, and then forget about it. And people aren't comfortable in telling somebody who was a bully when they were a kid how disgusting that was. Like, what? Anyway, before I get on my soapbox, let's continue. I emailed, called, even showed up in person to speak with the teachers and the principal. But all I got were empty promises that they'd look into it. Yeah, I can imagine. Nothing changed, and my daughter's mental health has taken a hit. She's anxious, she's struggling to sleep, and now begs us not to send her to school. Oh, poor girl. Finally, out of frustration and feeling like no one was taking this seriously, we reached out to a lawyer to explore legal action against both the school and the bully's family. Yes, I like to see this. Only when her school and her parents learned we were considering legal action did they start to act. Oh, funny that, isn't it? Suddenly, the school calls me to say they're moving the bully out of my daughter's class, and they claim they had a talk with her. Yeah, and I bet that talk did as much good as a chocolate fire guard. The girl's parents reached out too, saying they'd talked to their daughter and promised it would stop. Bring up your daughter better, and then she wouldn't do things like that. That's all I'm going to say. But honestly, I don't believe them. It feels like they're all saying this just to get me off the back and avoid legal consequences. That's because they are. That's exactly what they're doing. I worry that once the dust settles, things will go right back to how they were, and my daughter will still be dealing with this. My family thinks I should give the school and parents a chance now that they're finally taking action, but it feels like it's all for show. But they're not really taking action. They've moved the kid to another class, and they've had a word. They butchered her hair with scissors. That is assault. They physically took a sharp implement to this kid's head and butchered her hair. The kid should be getting expelled, suspended, something at least that means that it's a real harsh consequence, not just moving class and a little talking to. Like, what are you guys on? What is the school on? What the hell? Anyway, so am I the butthole for moving forward with legal action, even though the school and the bully's parents now claim they're handling it? No, you're not, and I think you should continue. If you don't continue, I would be very disappointed, because I genuinely think the only way to get through to people like this, because clearly they didn't care, they let a child take scissors to another child's head and did absolutely chuff all about it. The only way something's going to happen is if you get drastic. And I think it's a great idea to just go the legal route, because no one likes to part with their money. So suing them is a very good idea. So, Aggressive C339 says, yeah, sorry, bullying with name calling is one thing. Physical abuse to a child by cutting her hair during class is completely different. Exactly. Like, all kids, you know, will name call each other or whatever at some point, because it's the only way they learn the action, like consequences of their actions. They name call and then they get in trouble for it. All kids do it, and I'm not saying they don't, but this is something different. This is bullying with actual harm to the person, like bodily harm. You might think hair's just hair, but when you're a young girl, hair is a lot. It's everything. It's all about your appearance. And then she's going to get bullied because her hair's all messed up now. So everyone else is going to pile on. It has a ripple effect, and it really takes the toll on the mental health when you are that age. And going into adulthood. When you go into adulthood after you've been bullied, I can tell you now, it's not good. It is not good. Let's just say that. Why didn't the teacher do anything? Why did the teacher allow scissors in class? I mean, to be fair, depending on the age, scissors in class is kind of normal. Why was the bully not sent to the principal immediately? Why weren't you notified immediately? Why did your baby have to come home with effed up hair, basically a signature of abuse, for you to find out about it? Exactly. If she got into school with her hair messed up like that and chopped to pieces, the school would be reporting her to child services. Why is it any different this way round? I'd be suing the school and that teacher directly for neglect, as well as the kid's family for abuse. Not the butthole. Protect your kid. Exactly. Absolutely. Maybe also consider formally pulling her from school and going to your district with a letter officially stating that the school's absolutely asinine job of handling an abuse, not bullying anymore, they could have stopped it at bullying but let it grow to physical abuse, case is the sole reason why. What happened to all that zero tolerance for bullying shite that we had when I was in school? Yeah, exactly. They say zero tolerance, but they don't mean it. They've actually got quite a lot of tolerance for it. And it's disgusting. Edit. Misnamed OP. Corrected. Thanks. More Kitar says, yes, relentless verbal abuse like this creates a hostile environment and can be considered stalking, pervasive harassment. But they assaulted her. This is criminal. Sue everyone and file charges against the bully. And then Select Case says, cutting hair is battery. Worse than assault. Yeah. Take it to the top. Take it above the school board. Take it above the parents and go straight to hitting them where it hurts. Their bank accounts, because for some reason people only seem to give a shit when it involves money. Well, on that rather heated end note, we will leave it there. If you've made it to the end, I appreciate you very, very much. I would also love it if you would give me a like, a subscribe, maybe even share the video to someone else who might like it. That would be really cool too. And I hope to see you back here because I post every single day. Have a good day. Goodbye.